Don't start no reconnect stuff this morning. We haven't had any problems. Don't start no reconnect stuff this morning. Let me add it. No, is your Shaquan, is that how you say your sister's name?
Mm-hmm.
Is she older or younger?
She is younger. She's
okay.
Younger than me by 2 years.
Okay. Carmen Dawson is the stay page. I see y'all coming in there. Good morning. Good morning. I'm moving slow. I'm sorry. I was tagging them on Facebook. Good morning. Who's that? Hey, Kadra. Good morning. Coming in. Hey, Hoop Love. See y'all coming in there. Jess, you in there? Oh, yeah, I see you. Good morning. It's raining this morning.
How does that go? Is it good?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get this again.
Well, what did you get?
Told her, Frappuccino. I said, give me something that's like some vanilla or something.
Yeah, they make really good, like, they have this thing called the weight gainer that this man comes in and gets 2 of them every morning because he has a hard time maintaining his weight.
Mm-hmm.
And it has, it's a protein shake, and it has peanut butter and chocolate and banana in it. So it's like a dirty Elvis with all this protein stuff on it. I hope Whitney is on, because even though you said you didn't want to buy me a new coffee mug, I got one anyway. Carmen is so amazing, and it says hello beautiful, and it's pink. So I'm in total love this morning with this coffee mug. Oh, see Jess on. Good morning, welcome. Hey Deb, how you doing? Hey, who is that? Bessie, good morning. Before I introduce you, welcome to Coffee and Conversations with LaKisha. Before I introduce you to my guest this morning, you guys know I always start with a scripture for today. And our scripture for today is Genesis 2:18. It says, the Lord God said, it is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper who is suitable for them. Welcome to Coffee and Conversations this morning. My guests this morning are Carmen and Bruce Dawson from the Stay page. And I'm really excited to share your story. You guys know that this month was the month of love. And so I wanted to focus on stories that just encouraged healthy relationships, encouraged love. Divorce rates are at an all-time high, and people don't really promote love the way they should. So I wanted to make sure that we were promoting love on Coffee and Conversations all month long. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to start with Carmen. I was asking you a little bit before, but tell my audience, how long have you guys been married?
We have been married 5 years. We've been together 10.
10 years?
Yes.
Like, what took so long?
Well, we were kids.
Okay.
And
him?
another story.
we was a lot younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, how old are you guys?
30 and 33.
Oh, most definitely then. So I
we were
understand
19
that.
and 22. So.
Yo, so you took your time. You found each other.
Yeah.
Found whatever it was you needed to. Carmen has this look on her face like, yeah, I'm gonna let Bruce tell his own story. But you found each other and you figured it out.
Oh yeah.
And so now 5 years in marriage. What's marriage like for you, Bruce, from a male perspective? Like, women are so touchy-feely, emotional. What was why did you finally make a decision for marriage? Or what was the need for it?
Because I did it because it made sense. I was like, because I was so used to seeing my parents together when I was a kid. Just, all I knew was mom and dad. So I knew when I got older, I was like, I know I want to be with one woman. And Carmen and I, we never had a perfect relationship. But, we even broke up one time. But
oh, wow.
We got back together, and it was those kind of things, everything that we went through that was letting me know, okay, I need to be with this one woman. This is who I want to be with.
So you guys broke up?
Oh, yeah, we had a breakup.
That was years ago.
It was a long time
But still,
ago.
you had a breakup.
Yes.
So it didn't flow. And I think sometimes people promote this idealistic thing. We fall in love. We're going to get married. We're not going to have any problems, any trouble. And I think that, and it's not always like that. And I think we will think that we don't belong with the person because a breakup occurs. But you guys are proving to us it's totally much more to it.
Yes.
Yeah. So who broke up first? I'm not messing, but I like.
It was kind of mutual.
Yeah.
We were just young, and You know, he was a young man, so you know how young men. You know, when I met him at 19, you know, I thought I was just ready to get married.
Get married,
and
yes.
he really wasn't. And
Okay.
then we had pressure from family and all of that, so we just kind of broke it off for a while.
I think what hurt the most about that breakup is the fact that we really didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we felt like, okay, we
See if we'll make it back to each other.
Yeah, we was like, this is something we have to do. But
Okay.
we didn't want to do it, and so after we broke up, it was like it only lasted a few weeks.
Okay. Okay.
We both tried to talk to other people.
Yeah, so it only lasted a few weeks. So, we was
So y'all
like,
even
no.
tried to date somebody.
Yeah,
Tried
it
to.
didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't
And
work.
even the other person, the guy I was dating, he was like, I'm not even finna get into this with you because your
You're
heart's
still there.
with him.
Your
Yeah.
heart was still there. So, and I truly believe that. I think when you're drawn to a person or you're purpose for a person, you can go try to sabotage it.
Yeah.
You can go try to go somewhere else and see somebody else and date somebody else. But there is such a magnetic pull to you and that person that it can't be abandoned. So definitely the magnetic pull should be there. So I want to get into the stay page in just a minute, but I don't want to talk about that. Because this is really ministry for you guys, and I was thinking about that and meditating on that coming in. Tell us what STAY stands for.
It stands for staying together after yesterday.
Oh, what does that mean?
It means, what does yesterday mean? It means whatever
that's
happened
good.
yesterday. Like, if you're always moving forward, you'll always be together. Yesterday
good.
is trials, tribulations, conflict,
I mean-
whatever happened yesterday. We're gonna keep moving forward.
Oh, that's good.
And long story short, it's the past. It's lack of
Whatever
sex,
happened,
lack
yeah.
of communication, lack of finances. It's
Yeah.
anything bad, it's the past. But if you make it through all that,
Yeah.
if you make it
Keep
through that
doing
one day,
that. Yeah.
Yes.
then you have stayed together after yesterday, and guess what? You have to do it again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The next
again
day,
and again.
the next
It's
day.
a
So it
constant
takes
fight.
work.
Oh, I love that. That puts it in the perspective of one day at a time. And I always tell people, give me this day. The Lord says, give us this day, or focus on this day. Because if I focus on this day, right, and stop trying to figure out tomorrow, we can work out whatever on this day. And then when we get to the next day,
do
we
it
don't have to
again.
forget it.
Yeah.
We can forget about yesterday, right? And we can focus on this day again. And I think in relationships, we spend so much time trying to predict the future. And we don't necessarily know how the future is going to go. So to be in a position or a place where we focus on today and forget about yesterday, that's really, really powerful. So where did you come up with the idea for the stay page? I don't know how I found you. Like this is, and I don't know how I found you, but I followed you first. And you
Really?
can't, yeah,
I
you
thought I
you
thought
did
I
not
followed
follow
you.
me first.
Okay.
I followed you first. I saw you guys and I followed you first. And it was so amazing because I am, and my audience knows this, I am such the love bunny. I am so into marriage and relationships and love. Like, I really want to fix people up, but I don't want the consequences on me. But I'm so into that. When I saw the page, I was like, this is the dopest page ever.
Thank
So
you.
how did it come about?
I'll take you back a few years. My pastor, who was an apostle, Jason Nicholson, who was the founder and overseer at the Vibe Church. So
Vibe Church.
Okay, Vibe Church. Hey, Vibe
big
Church.
shout out to Apostle Jason. We had a conversation, and this was a few years ago. And he was talking about everybody that's in the church and who was going to be over which ministry. And I was on the phone with him. I was sitting outside my job in the parking lot, and he said, "You and Carmen are supposed to be over the marriage ministry." And this was a few years
This
ago.
was kind of during the time where we both had started researching marriage, because I would be in my head, I was like, okay, what does it really mean to be married?
And we didn't start researching marriage going into the scripture until after we were married. And so, but it was the way Apostle Jason told me. He told me, like a parent telling a kid, you're supposed to be in school today.
Yeah.
So when he told me that made me want to research marriage even more. So
that's good.
We started researching more and more. And we didn't officially be over the marriage ministry at the Vibe Church, which is called the Best of Both Worlds.
Oh, that's good.
We didn't officially be over it until maybe about a little over a year ago.
Okay.
So around that time, I was thinking to myself, I want to grow an Instagram page because I run the Instagram page for the Vibe Church.
Okay.
My little sister had a business. I was helping her run her Instagram page.
Okay.
My mother-in-law is an author in
Oh,
Memphis,
that's
Tennessee.
awesome.
I was running, so I was used to running pages.
Yes.
So I was telling Carmen, well, I want to grow a marriage page. I want to grow
Yes.
a page just to encourage marriages. I said I want to come out with marriage apparel, to something where couples can wear something unapologetically
Yes.
and just be proud to be married.
Yes.
And so and we was trying to come up with the name. I was like, and this was funny. The original name for it was
His
called Law. It was my idea.
Law?
LAW, which stands for Life After the Wedding, and she hated it.
I was like, it's not as
It doesn't sound.
not as
She
dope.
hated it, and
Yeah.
so I promise she was talking about the Stay page like out of frustration. She said it needs to be called Stay, STAY. She was passionate. She was like,
Yeah.
that means staying together after years.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
was going on and on, and
Yeah.
to me it sounded good. I was like, I jumped on it, and so I called the page Stay Ministries.
She ain't like the ministry part
Yeah,
either.
because I made it sound so churchy. Stay
Yes.
And then she said, no, baby,
Yeah.
it needs to be called the Stay page. Change that. I was like, that's another good idea.
Yes.
It makes so much sense since it is an Instagram page, social
Yes.
media page. So,
Yes.
And so I created it, and our original purpose was not to come out and be public. I was like, well, there are plenty of pages on Instagram where you don't know who they are, who's
Yes.
running it.
Yeah.
So I said, I just want to, grow a big marriage following and just, upload couples on.
And now I got you all out public.
Yeah, so this,
Now I got you all out
This is our
public.
first public, and it's an
Oh,
honor to
that's
do it with
awesome.
you.
Oh, thank
So
you guys.
Yeah.
So we thank you.
No, I appreciate you guys. It's so interesting because in this day, you don't hear a lot of promotion for marriage. Like, you
Yeah.
don't hear people saying, go and get married. My son, I tell people all the time, my son and his wife got married at 19. And it was hard at first, but we've just encouraged them.
Good.
And his words to me were, Mom, I found my good thing, and I want to cut covenant with her at 19.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And they've
it
been
worked,
doing it.
huh?
And it's been tough for them, but they grow. I think a mistake that people make is that they assume that when we get into marriage that everything is going to be so peaceful, so smooth. And it isn't that it's going to be bad, but we grow together.
Yes.
Like, we grow together in
That's-
the marriage,
that's
and
what
that's
it's
the
about.
mistake we make. I want to ask you something. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and he was calling me because he's at this point where either he needs to make this decision to get
Okay.
married or not. He and his girlfriend have been together for 5 years.
Okay.
And he calls me, he said, I need some sound advice. And I'm like, what's up? And we were just having this conversation. And he says, she's putting a demand on me. Like, it's either time to do this or she's just kind of like, let's move on. And I asked him, I said, what are your fears? And he gave me a list of things that he thought was going to go wrong. And one of the things that I discovered was, and I waited and I listened, and I said to him, I said, you are going into marriage with the perspective that it's going to fail. You are not going
Yeah.
into marriage with the idea of success.
Yeah.
And it was because he had never seen a successful
That's
Gotcha.
marriage.
Okay.
Why do you
That's
think
it.
that happens? Why do we think about all the wrong things before marriage instead of all the right things?
I mean, exactly what you said. He hasn't seen anything positive
Mm-hmm.
about marriage because the world views marriage as ball and chain.
And that's all the stuff he was
But
saying.
All is going to be over with, so he hasn't jumped in there to do it himself.
Yes.
And a lot of times, I think people honestly know that marriage is about commitment and it's work.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't want to. They look at it as like, okay, well, I can't do the thing because to be married, you have to be selfless.
That's good. You do.
You
That's
do.
good.
And so when you're some people that's not married, they're so used to being by themselves, they do what they want.
Yes.
And so they abuse the gift of God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is sex.
Yeah.
Primarily they abuse that gift, and they want to get what they want.
Yeah.
Out of it, but still be selfish.
Yes.
So
yes.
I think that's a big problem. They know it's about work. It's about commitment.
Yeah. And that was one of the things he said to me yesterday. I said, if you will alter your perspective about the success of the marriage will win.
Yes.
This is not the relationship that you had previously. This is not this situation. And then I told him the other thing. He kept saying, but I want to be able to have fun. I said, you create that. You
Yes.
create
We
that.
have a
You.
lot of fun.
That's what I was going to ask you. So what are the things that you guys do to create fun in your marriage? Because it is fun. It's a choice and a
We
decision.
joke, we roast each other.
I love that.
And Carmen, she's really good with planning date night ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if it's still on the counter or not, but she had created
A date night jar.
date night
that's
jar
good.
with ideas that she wrote on a piece of paper and put it in there. So I
Yeah.
was like, that's awesome. 'Cause I never, and this was like years ago, so it was like a whole bunch of different ideas. And these are ideas for the house, not
That's
just
good.
going out.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Because
good.
you have to be friends too. If you know that's the foundation. of it. If you don't like the person or y'all are not good friends,
And we started off as friends.
Yeah, friendship sustains.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand that, you don't know that. I had somebody give me some bad advice. They were like, you don't date somebody that's your friend. I said, no, you do date somebody your friend. You do want the friendship, because when the person makes you mad or pisses you off, it's the friendship, the bond of the friendship that keeps you going. When you're looking at each other and you're rolling your eyes and you're walking in the house, it's the bonds of the friendship that can sustain it when it gets at the weakest moments. Bruce, what would you say to somebody who's so scared of marriage? Like, what would you encourage them as just from a male perspective? Because every time I hear a story, it's rare that I hear the story that the woman is afraid. It's always that I hear the guy is afraid to make this commitment. What made you say, nope, I'm making this commitment now?
I would say he has to get himself together first.
Yeah, that's
Personally.
good.
Yeah, when I say get himself, power of one. That means make sure that he doesn't go in with any baggage. Make sure that he goes in like, okay, pretty much just take it back to the basics and do some research. Do some research on marriage. He has to surround himself around,
Married people,
married people, but faithful husbands. I mean, somebody good, somebody good that's gonna tell him, hey, it's a lot of work. You're not gonna go in like this. If you love that woman, do that. Now, a man told me years ago before Carmen and I got married, he said, if she didn't want to get married to you, then that's a problem. So a lot of fiancés out there that's kind of, so to speak, putting pressure on them. That's a good thing. They want to get married. They want to be wifed
But
up.
we see pressure as a male society has taught us, or our brothers or whatever have taught us, if a woman is interested in getting married, then she's pressuring you. It's not. It's not. It's us saying, I'm saying to you, you're worthy. You're the one. Yeah. And if you miss that, you'll think it's something bad. No, I'm not pressuring you just to get married. It is. Yeah. I'm saying that I want to commit to you. I'm saying I'm Ruth. When Ruth laid down at Boaz's feet, she said, Boaz, I'm tapping out to you. Yes. I'm lowering myself before you and saying, you're this one for me. That's the presentation. Pastor Al said last week, we make a mistake, when we say he who findeth wife find a good thing. That was very good. He said it doesn't mean that we're out necessarily searching for her. It means that she's presented to us. And so when a woman presents herself to a man and says, hey, I'm saying you're it for me, right? Especially
an honor. It's really
an honor. It's an honor. But society has taught us that there's nothing, and twisted us and made us think it's not honorable. But when a woman, especially a woman who's done the work, especially a woman who's done the power and secure, when a woman like that comes to a person and lays at your feet and says, I'm telling you, I've researched, I know you're the one, that's powerful.
It is.
That's powerful, and that's not a pressure. Yes. You feel me? That's a reality of, I realize that you're the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. And because we have that wrong thought process,
you're putting the pressure on you.
Yeah. And it's not
pressure, it's presentation, like you said.
It's a presentation to tell you that you're it and I'm selecting you.
Which brought me to something else. The fact that men think that it's pressure, they feel like, okay, well, this fiance or my girlfriend or this woman is making a decision for me, and I want to do it on my own time.
Good,
so
Bruce.
Then there comes out the macho, like, I want to do it on my own time. So that's another problem too. That it's not pressure. It's this woman saying, look, I love you.
That's good.
I want to be the only one. It's an ego thing.
Because if she were to walk away and say, okay, well, I'm done, you don't want to make the commitment, then that's when that's going to destroy you.
It is, and that's what my friend was saying. He was like, man, if she walks away, I know she's not coming back, or I don't know if I would want her back. And I told him, I said, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to look at this from a realistic point of view. I want you to put the pros and cons.
Okay.
And then he said something so powerful. He said, I feel like if I do make a decision, to marry her, I feel like the Lord is going to bless me.
Oh, yes.
And I got quiet and I said, baby, that's the
real.
Scripture. That's the real. It says you obtain favor from the Lord. If you make this decision, to marry her, your business is going to increase.
Yes.
Your favor is going to go up.
What I like about what Pastor Al said last week about that scripture is he said the woman is presented to him. See, the Bible doesn't say anything about a man obtaining favor until he finds his wife.
Yes.
Until he
finds his wife. That's what I thought was so powerful. That means when he finds his woman, the Bible doesn't say, when a man finds his woman and date her for a few years, live with her for a few years,
Come on, Bruce.
add her as a friend, stalk
Come on,
her, date her.
stalk her.
No,
Come on, Bruce.
that means this woman is a wife already.
She's already a
She's
wife.
already a wife.
This wife
The
mindset she has
mentality.
already. So
Yeah.
She has a wife mentality in mind.
that's one of my
Yes.
favorite
Yeah,
scriptures.
she's prepared for you. She knows how to prepare the home for you. Prepare the home for you. She's sensitive to your needs. Don't get me, I have a big deal about that wife mentality, because when a woman is already ready, she'll be ready to receive you. And that's why sometimes people will say, oh, we're going to date for a long time, which is cool if you're still figuring yourself
Yes,
out,
yes.
right? But it's not cool if you're avoiding.
Cause see,
Yeah, because
honestly,
there's no time frame on other stuff.
there's no time frame on other stuff.
Mm.
And so,
On
because
intimacy and all of that.
There's no time frame. There's no time frame on
Yes.
intimacy. Okay.
men know that marriage is a lot of work. Because think about it. If you have, let's say they're teenagers. First of all, I don't believe teenagers have any business falling in love.
Yeah.
So if teenagers are dating, and what are they doing? They're arguing already. They're going through these marriage and adult problems that they cannot
That
handle.
they can't handle at a teenager.
So at a young age, they already looking at marriage like it's a bad thing. They want to come together like they're married.
Yes.
But they don't want to commit their hearts and be married.
Yes.
They know a woman is a lot of work. But see, you know why women are a lot of work? Because y'all are a blessing. Y'all are to help me.
Yes.
Because y'all,
Come on, educate, Bruce. Educate.
Because when we, what am I trying to say? First of all, when it was just Adam, what did God say? It's not good the man should be alone.
Correct.
He was only 50%. He became 100% when he made
So the
Eve.
woman is, yes.
To help
That's
because
the wholeness.
and how does Carmen help me? Well, first of all,
Moisturizer.
yeah, because that's Carmen.
Introduce.
I mean, Carmen can tell me about something, and I could have. You got LaKisha over here cracking up.
Because Carmen said moisturize.
Just little things. We were just talking about
That's
that.
good,
Yesterday.
though.
I was like, I got
That's
you
true.
cleaning. He got
We got
his
two different
cleanser
skin.
and
Yes.
yeah, just stuff.
But that's looking out and filling the gaps for him.
Yeah.
And one of the most powerful things God showed me is if you position a man in the front, right? Because he is warrior, he goes to war, and the woman is behind him, right?
Yeah.
She's able to see everything.
She got his back, and we see her too.
And we
as
are
women,
seers. We
like our
see.
discernment, just as a woman.
Come
and
on, Carmen.
just the intuition that we have, just as women.
We're seers.
You know,
and we see what you
got your
can't
back.
see.
Women are full of power. They're full
Yes.
of and that's what makes a woman such a good helper, because y'all are full of intuition,
Mm-hmm.
sensitive, power, wisdom, intelligence, and,
That's
and,
good.
and that's what
Got
helps the
your
man.
back.
That's
Yeah.
what helps the man.
I
And she
got your
always
back.
say that, I got your back.
I got your back. And you want to be in a position, in a situation to love and to deal with someone who has your back.
Yes.
But if we don't understand the position, and that's why when people are like, oh no, the woman shouldn't be behind the man. No, it's a power to her being behind him. And one time God showed me something. He was like, if she's behind him, then even if he begins to slip back, she has the power and strength to
Yes.
catching him.
That's where the
And that's
prayer
why
comes
I
in.
always,
Warring.
that's it. You war in prayer. I have learned beyond anything that the power in your prayers, the encouragement in
As
your
a
prayers,
woman, yeah.
as a woman, if you don't have a steadfast prayer life, no, you're not ready to be married.
Yeah.
Like I learned, you're not ready to be married if your prayer life isn't full, if you don't know how to go before, because there are going to be some tests and things come to you that you may not be able to say absolutely anything.
Yes, you can't say anything.
You can't address it with him. You can't bring
Just
it
have
up
to pray.
because of that ego and everything else. But you can get your
just
butt in
have to
position
pray.
and pray and watch the power of God move
Yeah, you don't have to
at
say
such a
anything.
rate.
That's submissiveness too.
Yeah.
Say
Like,
that again.
Submissiveness.
Okay, that you don't say everything.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You don't have to, do you?
You don't.
Oh, okay. I mean, and I'm just emphasizing that because we feel like sometimes as women we always need to fix them. You
And
gotta
they
fix
don't
them.
respond to nagging
No.
at all.
No.
He responds better when I leave something alone, because in his mind he like, okay, she ain't nagging, something wrong. Let me get it together.
Yes. No, and that's real. So tell me, what has it been like to be Bruce's wife?
I like being Bruce's wife.
That's good.
I like that we've been able to grow together, because we met really young, 19 and 22, and we didn't know what we were doing. Even when we were getting married, we still didn't know what we were doing, because in my head, looking back, I'm like, we had no business getting married.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know anything about it. And I know a lot of women think that when they get the ring or when they do get married that they have arrived. So it's like over. Because a lot of women, you know, will describe their wedding as what they want in a marriage. And I'm like, no, that's not
Carmen,
the same
you're going to make me slap you. That's powerful.
not the same thing.
And that is the problem.
Yes.
That we describe the wedding.
Yes.
And we talk about the wedding.
That's not
but
it.
we don't talk about the marriage.
Yes.
That's powerful. That you're going to have me study on that. That's powerful. We talk about the wedding.
Because that's kind of where I was then, being 24, I guess. I was all into the wedding.
Well, you know, originally, we met in 2007, so we was planning a wedding, and it was supposed to be 2011.
Okay.
But we ended up postponing it to the next year, to 2012, so it
Yes.
ended up being 5 years. So, yeah, we tried to do it a little earlier.
Yeah. But there's not, and as a wife, you have to understand the life beyond the wedding. So what does the marriage look like? And I actually told my friend that on the phone. I said, you're describing to me the things that you think won't happen in your marriage, right?
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, so describe to me the things that you want to happen in your marriage. Because you guys set the tone for what this marriage look like.
Yeah.
And I said, if you think there's not going to be any flirting, then you need to come to the conversation with her and tell her how important flirting is for you.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you guys need to have this conversation of what this look like. If you need her to dress it up pretty when y'all get married, you need to tell her that you need to see it dressed up pretty. And I just started telling him that. I said, it may be that y'all have to figure this out in a way that makes it successful and exciting. And I think because people describe the wedding, after the wedding, women forget to do the work.
Yes.
And we forget to tap in the needs of a man. And then y'all know my thing. When there is a hole in your fence, either your dog gets out or a stray dog gets in. Everybody knows that's my little motto. And so after the wedding, if we're not doing the work on the marriage, if we're not putting ourselves in the position to make the marriage complete or whole, we got him. And I've heard several of my brothers say this. We got him, and then after we got him, we can't keep him, or we're not doing what it even takes to keep his attention, because we ain't trying.
Yeah, you're not.
I got the ring.
Complacency.
I had the marriage. I've become complacent. And I'm not just talking about his part, because he has his part too.
Yeah.
But I'm saying where we fell as wives, we get so comfortable. Ain't nothing else frilly. We ain't wearing nothing frilly. We were frilly before the marriage.
Yes.
We ain't wearing nothing frilly. We not dressing it up. We've become comfortable. And we're not even trying to see what his needs are or what he tried. Because, man, we got the ring. And then don't let a baby come into place.
Yes, and that's another thing. Like, we've seen people debate on where children come in with your marriage. And we always say, you know, your marriage comes first, because if that is healthy and thriving, then your kids are healthy and thriving. And it doesn't mean neglect your kids, but it's so easy to put the kids first. So if marriage is always at the forefront, you know, everybody is happy.
The family was the
Because if me and him aren't happy, you know, the kids get on our nerves, we get on each other's nerves. It's just a big,
you pick up on
big mess. Yeah.
Tell me more about the stay page. Tell me the goal and the focus of the stay page.
The goal and focus when I started it was to just inspire, encourage, and since stay is in it, I said I wanted to, you know, encourage couples to fight. Because everything on the stay page isn't all, you know, nice and happy. You know, I wanted to just upload some pictures and just pretty much encourage couples to where if anybody wake up and they look on their phone, they can say, okay, I like what I see. I like the picture. I'm finna text my husband, text my wife, and say, babe, I'm sorry, or something.
Yeah,
because,
that's good.
Now, here's what's so funny.
Ministry of Reconciliation on the stay page.
Here's what's so funny about the stay page. Like I said, it started out to me, you know, kind of just, you know, I'm just upload some pictures for encouragement, and it turned out to be a movement, because I wasn't expecting for marriages to DM the page and say and pretty much confide into me and say, hey, this is what's going on.
Wow.
My
Like
wife wants a divorce. Can you pray for me? My husband,
God.
I woke up this morning.
He actually does it. He'll get in his closet and he'll actually do it.
Like what I did is I had bought a prayer book from Philander Smith College years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I promise I have so many names of
Mm-hmm.
couples from the stay page, and I just wrote their names down and wrote the prayer topics that they wanted, that they requested, and I just went into my closet and prayed for them. And I'm still doing that.
That's good.
So that was tripped out to me. I was like, wow, this is kind of
it's
serious.
more than a page.
Isn't it amazing when we just start something? Like, people think when we're starting something that we're really we really know what we're doing, but we feel the unction from God, and we just try it,
and then
it works, or it
yeah.
moves, and it ain't because we know. And that's why I tell people all the time who hesitate when God gives them something, they think it's gonna be all right. No, it grows as you move. Like, as you press towards Him in your obedience, it grows. It just moves. You ain't gotta have it all together at front.
Yes.
So that's really big. I've seen you guys profile all kinds of couples. I've seen the stories that you tell, and like, even in my singleness, it's kept me encouraged. I was like, man, this is dope. This is, before I even knew it was Bruce, I think one time I shot a DM and was like, you gonna profile me on here one day, you gonna profile my love story, and I didn't even know who it was. And then finally one day I messaged him, I was like, who is running this? Who is this on this day?
I remember that. It was so funny, right? Because like I said, when I tell people it's me, I like to be on the phone with them or tell them in person, because I think it's kind of weird to be like, hey, this is Bruce, and they got the stay page on there. So I told, because one time I sent you the message and I gave you my phone number. I said, call me. I was at work. And if you was going to call my number, I was going to let you know, hey, LaKisha, this is Bruce or whatever. But I said, okay, I'll tell her later. But it was that one day you messaged and said, this page is dope. Who was running this? And I said, okay, let me get in touch with her, because I remember it was that probably that same day you had sent a message of
Tommy Norman.
Tommy Norman then.
Yeah, because they had been together, and I told you I love the love. Like, I love the love story. Oh, I love the love story. I love the moment that you see people overcome, triumph over, because when we see the love stories that tell us and only paint the good picture, that's not it. Most of us not gonna have this great love story. Yeah. Most of us gonna fall out. We gonna break up. We gonna come back together. I watched an article the other day where a lady and her boyfriend broke up, and then a year later they got married. You know, it's like so much more, to the story. Talk to me about your products. So I'm wearing one of Bruce's and Carmen's sweatshirt, Powered by God. I actually have a t-shirt on over here. I'm gonna take a picture with them after this. And first of all, everybody knows how I feel about pink and purple, so thank you, because I have so many boys. Oh, I love this. Oh, it's so warm. And so I wanted to know about your products. How can they pick up some of your products?
They can go to www.thestaystore.com. That link is also in the bio on the Stay
she's
page.
going to share that.
The Powered by God, we came up with that because, first of all, we wanted to create some designs, something we've never seen. When we create designs, I make sure that I don't even look at other t-shirts. I want it to be just us. And so I thought about it. When you go at the bottom of websites, you always see Powered by Shopify.
Yes.
Something that's powered by Android, powered by Apple. And I thought about everything is powered. Cars are powered to batteries, blah, blah, blah. But I said, we have to remember, we're powered by God.
God, that's
because God did what? He created Adam from the dust of the earth.
And breathed
the breath into his nostrils.
That's the power.
He's power. And I thought about that. I said, okay, that'll be for the man shirt. But I said, women need to wear this too. How are women powered? Oh, women are powered because of man and with the gift of the Holy Spirit.
Like, I love this.
I like it.
Like I do too. I was like, and I love hoodies. I even put my Timbs on today.
Carmen has two of them. She has the same one you have.
Yeah. So I put my hoodies on. Typically, I'm in my blazer. Today, I got my hoodie and Timbs on. I was like, I'm wearing a hoodie. They sent me a new hoodie. I'm putting on the pink Timbs or rocking it out today. I'm so excited about what you guys are doing. And I believe, God, that Stay is just going to grow. That it's going to create this avalanche for people to understand that there are healthy marriages, there are healthy relationships, and that you don't have to give up on love. What would you say to encourage someone who's just a woman, who's just at the point that she's about to give up on love because she hasn't seen it work?
I say, when you're at that point, take your focus off so much as marriage and try to make sure that you are in a position to be presented.
That's good, Carmen.
Because when you're single, you got all the time to pray, all the time to study, all the time to work on you.
You do. You do.
And then sometimes those women are presented because they're not so focused on trying to be found. Like, hey, I'm here. Hey, pick me, pick me. So you're in a position to be presented and in a position to be found because you're so,
You hear.
Yes.
You hear.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you get here, he does this. Like,
yes.
When you get here, he powers and draws the connection.
Yeah.
In. Does that make
that's
sense?
That's the vibration that you're sending
That's
out
good.
to.
Yeah, and you're whole and you're confident. When women are single, and I see a lot of their singleness in their post, right, on Facebook and Instagram, I'm always grieved for them because it just kind of sometimes sends the wrong message for me. You ain't gotta identify your singleness. Somebody gonna approach you and you can tell whether you're singleness. I always tell people when people ask me about my relationship status or what I have going on, I'm like, that ain't up for discussion because I feel like it's unless it's somebody I need to talk to about. I feel like my relationship, especially with all that I do, is the very private place in my life, and I don't want that on public display. Whether I'm single, whether I'm not single, whether whatever. So I think that's big. What would you tell some guy just about anything, any advice for the fellas? Because I find more that men, because I grew up with my homeboys. Like, I have lots of female friends now that I didn't have, but I grew up with my homeboys, and we've had so many conversations about being married, and they're always reluctant, way more reluctant. Like, how would you encourage a brother just to get to take the jump, to stop being afraid, to stop being scared?
Stay away from negativity and make sure you really love this woman.
Yeah.
Make sure you commit in your heart to it, because like you told me a few weeks ago, marriage starts before that marriage license. It starts before the wedding.
Yes.
Because I had a lot of negativity around me before Carmen and I got married.
Yeah.
This one guy told me, and this was in the same year. It might have been a few months before our wedding. He said, "Man, marriage is just somebody to share your bills with."
Wow.
And that's not true at all. So I would say a man has to go into the mindset like, I'm gonna take care of this woman.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna, you can't go into it with that 50-50 prenuptial agreement mindset.
Yeah, that's good.
Marriage is supposed to be 100-100. So he has to go to prepare himself for marriage. Be prepared to take care of this woman. Be prepared to love this woman. Be prepared to put her first.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, and I think that's so important. I think seeing the perspective that you have on marriage, that's why I fell in love with the Stay page. You gave the perspective that marriage works and that marriage wins.
Yeah.
That's why I said this is showing that marriage works in a time when people are saying, no, you can live with somebody for 10 years. And then you and I had a very serious conversation, right, about when marriage occurs, right? And I said, and my comment was, you're married before the license, the draw happens. It's the same for divorce. Most divorces occur before they actually happen. Most marriages occur, the connection occurs before it happens. But the other thing you and I talked about that most people don't realize, and you said there's a question that you ask. What is that question that you ask?
The question I ask people is, what makes a man and woman married?
Yeah.
I let them know. I said, this is a multiple choice. You can only pick one.
Yes.
This is the revelation I learned a few years ago. I said, is it A, the marriage license? Is it B, sex? C, the wedding ring? Or D, the wedding vows? And 9 out of 10 times people get that wrong.
Yeah. And so what is it?
And they don't know that it's sex that makes them married.
Yeah,
it's connection. It's the connection.
The spiritual connection.
People have not understood. Like, I want to do a grown and sexy from a spiritual, and I'm probably going to bring y'all back in and Pastor Al them, and we just do a grown and sexy so that people begin to understand the spirituality behind sex, the connection, the commitment. In the Bible, they weren't performing all these marriage ceremonies when he laid with her and he knew her.
He knew her.
Baby, when he knew her, it said that in the Bible. It said he knew her. Once he knew her, that was his.
She hid.
She hid. Once he knew her, and so that's why you do have to be careful when you lay with somebody. That's why you do have to. That's why sometimes in abstinence or celibacy, you have to understand: is this person that I want to know me? And we're so casual with sex.
Oh, too casual.
We're so casual
we
with sex.
We have that conversation all the time.
We're so casual. We're too casual with it. We too casually spreading ourselves out. We too casual. I have told all my sons from the beginning, I tell them, I said, there is a power. I can't tell you whether or not to be celibate or absent. And this is something I tell my sons. I said, there is a power to you, a strength in you. There is a king that lives in you.
Yes.
If there is a woman that is not weak enough to receive your kingness, when you pour that into her, whether you pour that into her, whether you using a condom or whatever, when you give that to her, when you give her some of your most
giving
and
away,
and she can't assume that power, you're gonna find somebody who's gonna lose their mind. And one of my 20-year-old was like, "Mom, you are so right."
That is so
I
true.
said, because there is only a specific woman that is designed to harness that power of who you are. And if we yoke with the wrong person take on that identity, and they can't take on your power.
Yeah. That's where people mess up.
Yeah. Then you got somebody stalking you and you can't figure out why they're stalking you, but she was never equipped or designed to harness what's in you.
And I think it's important that everybody, young people, because I mainly talk to people that don't know that's really younger than me.
Yeah.
But now that I mention that, it's a lot of people that are our ages don't know that revelation.
Yes.
Because I learned that revelation from the Vibe Church where we attend.
Yeah.
And so I think if a lot of people learn that, they might be a little bit more careful because now they'll know why they have such a strong connection to this person. Why they have
even if the relationship is unhealthy.
Why they have that soul time.
That's big. We're really over time, but you guys did a drawing on your page, and I want you to talk about that.
We did. So there was a lady, and she told me to keep her anonymous. She reached out to the page and said, look, I like the state page. I like what y'all are doing. She said, I want to bless this movement. And she sent some money to our PayPal account and said, I want you to bless 2 wives with the wife t-shirt.
That's dope.
As a matter of fact, we meant to bring this shirt, but we don't have it. But it's on the state page. That's actually our first design. This is the husband tee right here.
Oh, wow. Sugar daddy, side dude, guy friend, and then the end part is the husband.
And so we was inspired by what 1 Corinthians 7:2, where it says, let every man have his own wife and let every woman have her own husband. So I said, and I just sat down and I just started writing some things that, you know, what makes sense. You know, sugar
glorify
daddy.
that.
Because, you know, sugar daddy is a glorified mistress, the side chick, all of that is glorified. I said, I want to create something where marriages can walk around and wear something like this and be proud.
Yeah.
So it's 1 Corinthians 7:2. And so
when I get married again, my husband ain't gonna be tattooed because y'all know I like tats. His name gonna be tattooed all on my side. Everybody go, I'm gonna have it. No, this tattoo, this the symbol.
And so it was. So I created the post last night, and like I said, the lady wanted to keep herself anonymous.
Yes.
And I told the followers, I said, comment the words, "She blessed me" at the bottom of the post.
That's
and
good.
There was a lot of women that reached out. I wrote their names down and I put them in this bucket.
Okay.
And so what I want to do is just draw 2 names to the wives that will be blessed with those t-shirts.
All right,
the
that's
camera
dope.
right there.
Okay, we're gonna look at the state page camera, so I'm not ignoring you, Facebook.
All right.
We're gonna get the 2 cameras. Come and pull that.
The username is at the top, first and last
I
name.
am Dr. Damon, Mrs. Colleen Duvall.
Mrs. Colleen Duvall, Dr. Damon, you are a winner.
What is that? I am, Dr.
Damon. That's good.
Okay, Mrs. Colleen Duvall. She will be getting, this is your paper, she'll be getting the wife tee. And you pick the second one.
Laura _Aya _Soon.
Yep, okay. At Laura Ian Suin.
Oh, awesome.
I got it.
You win a t-shirt too.
You win a wife t-shirt. I'll be uploading
That's so
those.
dope. That's so dope. I'm always excited about giveaways. I'm so excited about what you guys are doing. I'm even more so blessed that you guys did your first public interview on Coffee and Conversations with LaKisha.
Nice.
You guys want to leave them with anything you can encourage, say a scripture, whatever you want to leave them with. Make sure you go follow the Stay page. Don't miss out on what they're doing. Don't miss out on the stories. Sometimes you just need an encouraging post. We see so much drama, so much negativity on social media. They've created this avalanche of positivity where relationships are concerned. So share something with, just share something with my followers and yours.
I would just say marriage is dope. No matter what society says, no matter how much they try to change it, twist it, what it means.
Yeah, that's
it's
good.
Dope.
Yeah, that's good.
I would say just keep marriage. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. You know, don't do anything that you're not supposed to do in marriage.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
like,
good, Bruce.
what I'm saying, marriage is dope, but you have to make it fun. But you know, just don't. I don't know. Don't do anything weird with marriage.
Yeah, be loyal. No, and that's real.
Make sure you love the person.
That's good, because there are been some things that like we trying these days to keep it spicy, to keep it. It opens up too many other doors to too many other things. I told y'all have given me an idea for something. I'm gonna do something for the grown and sexy. I'm gonna do a Facebook. I'm gonna do a Facebook Live. I'm gonna invite y'all in. I'm gonna invite Pastor Alan, Roz, and Warren in, and we're gonna do something marriage for the grown and sexy. And we may even create a live audience for that one.
Wow. Okay.
That we bring it in and bring a live audience so people can ask questions, because we need to have a healthy perspective of sex in marriage. And I think that because that's missing, people are not having these healthy sexual relationships in their marriage, especially if they're Christians. For some reason, there's some boundaries there that shouldn't be. And I want to create an atmosphere where people, come on, girl, Carmen, you're going to make me shout. Carmen said there's no boundaries, so that we create this revolution of what healthy marriage. And I saw Roz on, so you tell my bro I need him to help me make this happen. So we create this healthy revolution of what marriage looks like. Well, if you're just logging in, these are my special guests, the Dawsons from the Stay page. Go follow their page. Go log on to their website. Of course, share this video today, Coffee and Conversations with LaKisha. We've been talking about healthy marriages. I will see you guys back Monday morning for our daily devotional at 5 a.m. Invite a friend in. You know what I'm going to say. I love you guys. I love you so much. And you know, my challenge to you is to do what? To go be loved today. Go be, she said, we got you. Or I said, we got you. Go be loved today. Let someone else experience the love of God through you. And we'll see you next time. Love, peace. Say bye to the Dawsons.
Bye-bye.
And blessings.